kind of struggle. And I'm not honestly totally sure what my niche is. But I do hold your breath, RJ. And I've got a phone set up as well. Sorry, my hands are itching. I've done a video on my calluses before. I don't know. They itched this morning. My calluses have a thing, an itchy thing. But anyway, I'm dual streaming. It's my third or fourth time trying it, and it's kind of fun to do. And I think it's maximizing the productivity that is the work that I am putting in content creation. And I hate to call it work because it's really they say if you love what you do, you'll never work another day in your life, and that's true. Uh, but the effort that is put into this, I'd think I'd just push live and start talking, and that would be it. But oh no, oh no, oh no. Hello, Coco. Coco. That reminds me of Seinfeld. So many things remind me of Seinfeld. I think there was a Seinfeld with Coco in it. Maybe. Hello, Scotty. Hello, Jailbreak. It's a little chilly this morning. Brr. Hello, Norma Strain. Hold on, I'm panicking. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh gosh. I forgot the most important thing. Yeah, I saw that about Matthew Perry. That's sad. I forgot the most important thing. I forgot my coffee cup. So if anyone is out there that could improve my coffee cup situation, good morning, Everlasting Bloom. If anybody is out there that could improve my coffee cup situation, I got set up. Again, I'm dual streaming. I'm feeling a little groggy, a little out of sorts, so bear with me. I came outside today, needed a bunch of different things. Yeah, no, it's good. And I brought everything but my coffee cup. But good morning. Hello, Janet. Good morning to you. My name is Ken Tracy, and this is Coffee with Ken. It is Sunday morning. It is 8:06 a.m. It always makes me feel good when I start my intro and it's 8:06. I think, good morning, Belinda. That is the right. Hey, Jordan, thank you so much for following the live creator. Anybody new out there, please follow the live creator. I have a ton of fun on this, whether you're watching on YouTube or you're watching on TikTok. I so appreciate you for joining me on this Sunday morning. Sunday mornings, I think, are special days for me, special days for my family. Days where I kind of like to move a little slower and relax and just kind of drink my coffee. And I don't know. I think I'm half asleep, or you could call it half awake. But either way, I don't know. Where's Belinda watching from? She says it's 15:05 in the afternoon. That sounds very late. She must be watching from across the pond. I like to say across the pond. It makes me sound so European. But anyway, it's Sunday morning. It's kind of dark out. It's kind of cool out. A lot of the leaves have fallen over the last few days and are on the ground. I raked a leaf. Haven't mowed in a couple weeks. I was trying to decide yesterday if it's out of laziness or that I think the leaves, as they biodegrade during the winter underneath the snowpack that is coming soon, if they're actually good for the grass next spring. And I haven't decided. But anyway, for those that have been watching a while, you know, this isn't just a show about me talking, but it is a show about me talking. That's a key part of it. It's Belinda Grobel saying she's so proud that South Africa won the Rugby World Cup. Wow. To be honest, Belinda, rugby is the sport, I guess I'd put it somewhere about equivalent of cricket. As a sports fan and a guy that watches sports, rugby and cricket, and I think I probably understand rugby a little more than I do cricket. I have no idea what's going on in cricket. No idea what they're doing in cricket. But I have some idea what they're trying to accomplish in rugby. And rugby seems like a scary sport of a bunch of tough men that have probably split their time in their life, and I apologize in advance to all rugby players out there, between the gym and the bar, and have been in a scrap or two, because they're big, tough men that probably like to butt heads. They butt heads, they literally butt heads for a living. And it seems like a dangerous sport. They should get some football pads. Whoever invented the football pads here in America needs to go down to South Africa and say, hey, this game wouldn't hurt nearly as much if you wore a helmet. Just a tip for you. But anyway, yeah, good morning and thanks for joining. Again, my name's Ken Tracy and this is Coffee with Ken. This is a show I've been doing for a long time, a show I have a lot of fun with, a show I do a lot of talking, a show I start most days with at 8 o'clock. And for those that have been watching a while, you know it's not just a show about me talking. For those that have been watching a while, you know it is also a show. Again, my eyes are kind of doing one of these this morning. I wasn't sure I was going to go live. I say that every day. Every day, I'm not sure I'm going to go live. I think it's easier for me just to go live and talk to you guys for a few minutes than get all the angry texts from those of you that have my phone number. And I'm going, aren't you going to go live today? I want to go from under my covers. No, I wasn't going to go live. Now I feel guilty. Now I'm going live. So anyway, for those that have watched a while, like I said, you guys know it's also a show about me drinking my coffee and enjoying coffee and enjoying the moment and enjoying life and enjoying the gray skies and the fall leaves and the cool air and enjoying the moment, but also being excited about what lays ahead. And my hope right now is that whatever you're doing, wherever you are, that you have a hot cup of coffee in front of you as well. Cheers to us. Oh, I'll tell you what. It's been a while since I've had that sip. There's been a lot of pre-production activity over the last few minutes. A lot of scrambling around. A lot of getting power cords. A lot of getting various snacks in case I get hungry. I like to stay healthy. I don't think hey, by the way, for anybody out there, I would encourage you guys to eat a little fruit today. It's delicious and it's good for you. And I don't think I ate enough fruit yesterday. I don't think I ate enough food yesterday. I was laying in bed. It was about 9 o'clock. I did a late video last night. Yesterday was my 2-year anniversary of not drinking alcohol or smoking pot. And so I did a little celebratory, informative Q&A discussion about life as a drinker and life not drinking. And I talked for about an hour and 15 minutes, forgot to eat dinner. I was laying in bed, getting ready to grab my remote and flip the channels, and realized I was hungry as heck. And realized I hadn't eaten since lunch. And I went downstairs. What did I eat? I don't know. I think this is going to be more information. Maybe 2 of these. I'll give you the really behind the scenes. The what they don't tell you. What the paparazzi really wants to know about me. 2 slices of Swiss cheese and a bunch of ham wedged together, no bread, and just kind of ate it down. And I got upstairs back to my bedroom and I said, I'm still pretty hungry. Do we have any candy in the room? My wife said, yeah. I won't tell you where it is lest I get any visitors today. But she told me where the candy was. And I went after it like I don't know, like Beavis. Beavis. If anyone out there is old enough to have watched Beavis and Butthead, like Beavis, when he found the candy. I've been crawling around ever since going, and this is for any young ladies out there that, I don't know, new men in the 90s and men imitating Beavis, walking around with his t-shirt going, I'm Cornholio. I need teepee for my bunghole. Bungholio. That was me. That's still me today because I ate a ton of candy last night. I tried to be healthy at first. I tried to start with the peanut M&Ms. Because I like to think peanut M&Ms are a perfectly good substitute for a regular meal because I got peanuts in them. And peanuts are protein. And peanuts are good for you. So I ate all the peanut M&Ms, and they were huge bags of like these mixed M&Ms, peanut M&Ms, Snickers, Twix, all sorts of delightful little candies. And after I couldn't find any more of those little glorious bags of peanut M&Ms, I go, I'm still hungry. I need TP for my bunghole, bungholio. And then I went after, I don't know, Twix. I think I went after next. And when it became hard to find the Twix, I went after something else, and eventually I passed out in exhaustion from searching through the candy bags. But I'll have you know, to hide the evidence and to hide the guilt that I would have woken up with this morning, I did what any sensible man would do when they have a huge pile of candy wrappers on their nightstand. I picked them all up, I went to the bathroom and put them in the garbage to hide the evidence because I didn't want to wake. Oh gosh, Butterfinger's top 5 for sure, for sure. RJ, I appreciate that question. Butterfinger might be one of my favorite candy bars. I'd say Almond Joy is number one. And I mean, I'll put peanut M&Ms in their separate category because I, again, don't like to be considering it a candy. I like to think of the peanut M&Ms as a meal replacement, and yeah, as a meal replacement. So I'll. But let me see. Almond Joy, Butterfinger are so good. I like Three Musketeers a heck of a lot. When I was young, I always thought the Milky Way were better because they had caramel and they were harder. But there's something oh so glorious about the creamy softness that is the Three Musketeers. And what else is up there? I'll tell you what, for anyone that hasn't tried it a lot, I worked at a super Target till a couple months ago, and I was there for a while. Every now and again, I mean, every day, honestly, there'd be something that we couldn't sell, maybe a torn open bag of candy or what have you, and it'd go into the break room. And there were 2 days in a row, back-to-back heavenly days, where there were Almond Joys and there were Heath bars. And it was all the Almond Joys I could eat, and it was also the next day or the next couple days were all the Heath bars I can eat. And I'll tell you what, Heath bars are not a candy I've had a ton of in my life, but I'll tell you what, they are really, really good. RJ wants to know about paydays. I can't even place a payday. I don't even know what a payday is all about, so I got no opinions about the paydays. I think this is a very topical conversation. Good morning, Forever Fit. I hope you've missed the last 5 minutes of talk, because with a name like Forever Fit, you might not like the conversation that I've been having. I've been talking about candy bars and how I went to bed eating all these candy bars last night. So anyway, let's drink a little more coffee. So yeah, it's Sunday morning. Feeling a little slow pace. Kind of nice. Kind of nice. It's kind of dark out. Kind of gray. Was sitting in my living room just a few moments ago, it felt like. My wife was feeling a little bit chatty, and she was chatting to me and talking. And I was kind of listening a little bit. But I also had some music playing, and the kids were asleep, and there was some really mellow music. We listened to John Denver radio from Pandora. And what's nice about Pandora is they, you put John Denver, but they'll play maybe Simon and Garfunkel or Jim Croce or Mamas and the Pampas or various other 60s and 70s songwriters. And there was some relaxing music on. My wife was full of energy and full of conversation. And I was going, yeah. She didn't say it, but I know she was thinking of it. Are you listening to me? Yes, dear, I am listening to you. I think it's okay. I think it's hard. I think being in a relationship's hard, and I think being a couple is hard, and I think life can be hard. And when you put two people together that might be on different waves and different moods and different feelings and different emotions, and I was very content, and I'm still very content. I'm still very content and very relaxed and very at peace and not so fired up. And I apologize for any of those that like me brimming with enthusiasm, but not every day am I going to be the same person. And uh, just feel really relaxed today. And it was so peaceful sitting in my living room on this day in late October, looking out and looking at all the leaves and looking at the quiet streets. Sundays are such quiet mornings. And again, a year ago, I was living in a different house, and I'd be taking Holly for walks. And I do a lot of videos on Sunday mornings just saying how much I appreciate the quiet that is Sundays and how people are really nestled in and maybe sleeping in and moving slow and enjoying their coffee and hopefully enjoying their family or enjoying their dog or enjoying the solitude or enjoying a donut. And yeah, they're nice days. They're nice days. Somebody's asking where I am. I'm in Naperville, Illinois. Uh, Naperville, Illinois, which is a town of about 150,000 just west of Chicago. RJ, I'm going to go back to this, but I wanted to roll my eyes. This is me at RJ's question. He asked if I'm familiar with Meatloaf. You know, I'm RJ's like 35 years old, so he's a child. He's just a child. He was born in 1988, or maybe 87. He might be 36. I don't know. But either way, he asked me a minute ago as I was going through singer-songwriters if I was familiar with Meatloaf. And what RJ doesn't know is Meatloaf came out with an album, I think it was called Bad Outta Hell, in the late 80s or early 90s that got so much airplay. And yes, would be my answer to RJ. I am familiar with Meatloaf. Never been a fan. Never been a big fan. He was in the movie Fight Club for anybody out there. I bring up movies of the day and movie recommendations. And I still to this day don't know how I feel about the movie Fight Club. But Meatloaf was in it along with Brad Pitt and I'm drawing a blank on the other actor's name, and a very pretty boy actor that had a smaller role, but really interesting movie. Yeah, Meatloaf is good with potatoes. Meatloaf's good. Meatloaf's good. Meat is good. Food is good. Did Meatloaf die today? Star just said R.I.P. Meatloaf. Did he die today? Or was he already dead? I don't know. I feel horrible talking about somebody's passing that may or not be past. Oh, he's been dead. Okay. All right. Well, that makes me, I feel better. I would have been trouncing on his grave if I was saying I never was that big of a fan. Yeah, they say I heard, and I hate to bring up anything negative, but I just read or saw that Matthew Perry died. And that's kind of sad. And because he was a big part of, he's roughly my age. And Friends, all the stars on Friends were about my age. And the show was about people my age, kind of doing things that I were doing. They were in New York City, but I was living in Chicago at the same time. They hung out in a coffee shop. I hang out in a coffee shop. They struggled with work and dating and growing up and maturing and relationships and eventually having kids. And yeah, so they were kind of going through life experiences at the same time, at the same age that I was. And I like to think that I'm my age is super special. And we probably all think our age is super special. And the years we went through high school and college were special, more special than, other people's ages. And I think mine were. I think mine were. If you've seen Breakfast Club, that was my age. And if you've seen Pretty in Pink, those kids were my age and going through the same experiences. They were 16 when I was 16. And Breakfast Club, the same thing. And Pretty in Pink and all those great movies, all those great John Hughes movies from the 80s. Uh, I was at that age when those kids were at that age. And it felt neat. And I felt they were made for me and kids of my generation. And that those movies, everybody in the last Breakfast Club came out, I don't know, 38, 39 years ago or something like that. And every kid that's, over 20 has probably seen it. And, yeah. Revenge of the Nerds. Yeah, Revenge of the Nerds. They were a little older. They were going to college when I was still in high school, but they were a few years older. Uh, yeah, it was a different time. Totally a different time. I'll tell you what, Top Gun, they were older than me. I thought of Top Gun because what's so weird is, and I know Goose, for those that have seen Top Gun, um, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen Top Gun, go watch Top Gun and then come back and watch this video on YouTube because you should see Top Gun. But anyway, for those that haven't seen Top Gun, one of the stars is named Goose, and they're fighter pilots. And Goose wasn't the coolest of the fighter pilots, but he was the star Maverick's best buddy in the world. And he was his co-pilot, and he was the superstar. And I tell you what, if you're no matter how cool you look or how cool you are, if you're a fighter pilot, you're pretty cool in my book. Um, and the same guy that played Goose was one of the two nerds on Revenge of the Nerds just a couple of years earlier. And it would seem like whoever the guy that picks the stars of the movies, I don't know if it's the director or the producer or if there's a special job, uh, whoever picks the characters that are going to play it, it seems hard to imagine one of the two-star nerds from Revenge of the Nerds being one of the two-star fighter pilots. Do you agree with me? Casting directors, thank you. Uh, I don't know. I mean, he did great in both roles. He did great. And he went on to super fame playing, I don't know the name of the doctor, but one of the doctors in ER. And by that time, he was thinning his hair. His hair was thinning. I wonder what he's doing now. I wonder what he's doing now. I wonder what he's doing now. Do you think he's gone on to just... I don't even know. What's his real name? Good morning, Miss Hampton. Good morning, Miss Hampton. Good morning, Miss Hampton. What's his real name? Somebody give me his real name. Who played Goose? Who played one of the nerds? Who played the doctor on ER? We're going back in time, and for a lot of those young kids out there, you probably never... Anthony Edwards, thank you. Thank you. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I think I got the most intelligent audience on social media. Here's a little applause for you guys. I appreciate you, and I appreciate you giving me the answers I need. Is Sandy Shepard out of creamer for her coffee this morning? That's one of the top reasons I don't put cream in my coffee in the morning, because you get used to things in life and you get spoiled by things. And I know there was a time when I was hooked on coffee creamer, and too often I'd be out of coffee creamer. It's one thing when you live at home by yourself, but if you live with other coffee drinkers, maybe a wife, maybe a husband, maybe kids that drink coffee, you never know. You might shake the bottle of coffee creamer. And I don't know why coffee creamer, I guess Coffee Mate's a good brand. I think that's the brand that I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. You'll shake it and you go, oh, that should be enough for tomorrow. And then you got some obnoxious person you live with. Could be a wife, a husband, a kid, a father, a mother. Decides they're going to need that coffee creamer at night. They're going to have a late night cup of coffee. And you wake up in the morning and you go down to your coffee, you get it made. And you open up your fridge looking for your favorite coffee mate. And it's not there. And you go, oh! You go to the recycle bin, hopefully, or the garbage if you don't recycle, and you look in, and a tear wells up in your eye as you see your coffee creamer bottle sitting in the garbage or the recycle. It's devastating. It's devastating. And you don't even know if you could enjoy a cup of coffee without the creamer. But let me tell you, much like a lot of the things in life that I've given up, you too can give up coffee creamer. You can break away. You can save yourself the Benjamins. You can save yourself the calories. And you can love your coffee black. What's poppin', people said. I'm making them tear up. I appreciate that. They know the experience, the pain, the knife in the heart that is opening the fridge and seeing no coffee creamer in the fridge. Which reminds me, about a month ago, my son started watching Toy Story. And we're an Elmo and Miss Rachel family, mostly Elmo. We don't watch too much Miss Rachel these days, but we watch a lot of Elmo, a lot of Sesame Street. My two little, I'm blessed with 4 beautiful kids. I have 2 little ones, and my baby, who's 1 year old, is going to go as Elmo, and my 2.5-year-old is going to go as the Cookie Monster, because that's his very favorite character on Sesame Street. And anytime Cookie Monster comes on, my little 2.5-year-old, who's a beautiful little nugget, and it's Down syndrome, and I only bring that up because he can't really talk yet, but he sure can imitate his favorite character on Sesame Street. And anytime Cookie Monster comes on and eats a cookie, my little nugget of love, Augie, will go, nom, 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 nom. And it's the cutest little sound. But he's going to go as Cookie Monster for Halloween, and that's going to be so cute. I don't know if he's going to understand that he's dressed as Cookie Monster, or that my 1-year-old is going to understand that she's going as Elmo, but I guess it doesn't matter. They're going to be super duper cute. Oh, wow. Sandy Shepard's getting her grandbaby this week. C-section on Thursday. I wonder if she chose her C-section or needs to have a C-section for some way. And I don't want to talk about women's issues. Not that C-sections are just women's issues, but they certainly impact a woman more than the man. And yeah, so I'll just leave it at that. Okay, so they needed to do it. Okay. What was I going to say? Oh, reminds me. We've stopped watching. We kind of broke away from Toy Story. And this all has to do with the coffee creamer that I was talking about. Well, our audience started very low, and then it spiked very high, and now it's kind of in the middle at 43. So anybody new watching, I so appreciate you guys watching and joining in on this cool Sunday morning. And if you don't already, please subscribe to my page. Please follow my page. I try and have a lot of fun here. I go live at 8 o'clock in the morning. I kind of talk about life and the ups and downs and good times, bad times. Whatever I'm feeling comes out of my mouth. I can't stop it, which gets me back to Toy Story and the Coffee Mate. When you open the sadness, the welling of the eyes. We were watching Toy Story regularly, and I hadn't seen that movie in a long, long time. It's been a long time since I've had a baby in the house that wanted to watch Toy Story, or even a little one. But we started watching it, and I felt adventurous. And we watched Toy Story 2 about 3 weeks ago, and my wife started, I don't know if I should share this, but it's too late. Started bawling like a little girl when she thought the toy was going back to Toy Heaven, which was playing with her owner on a tire swing, I believe. But she was actually, it is quite sad, getting donated to, I don't know, donated to something and put in a box and taken away from her owner, because her owner had grown up and had grown past the doll, and it was quite sad. And I have heard that as sad as Toy Story 2 was, Toy Story 3 is even more of a tear jerker. And although I did not cry, and I'm not above crying during a movie, I did not cry at Toy Story 2. I've heard I'm definitely going to cry during Toy Story 3. and it's got to be on my short list. Maybe I'm going to watch Toy Story 3 to touch the feminine side in my body, and I'm going to watch Fight Club right after it to be macho and be manly and think about kicking ass. Hey, Sue Pullins Ash. Hey, welcome, Sue Pullins Ash. Susan, that's not a name I know. I appreciate you joining me this morning and chiming in and opening up about your emotions, because a lot of this show is about sharing our emotions, and RJ's saying he cried. It's okay for a man to cry. I think it's almost a must for a man to cry if he's, I'm not sure if I'm mentally healthy or not, but I let my emotions come out. They ooze out of my pores. It's part of who I am. Oh, well, I so appreciate you saying that, Susan. Well, thank you for watching. I hope you subscribe to the page. I just cry. What's poppin', people, understands about the coffee mate. I hope you follow my page, What's Poppin', people, because you understand the feeling, the devastation. And again, as a regular coffee drinker, you probably shouldn't run out of coffee. But it is entirely possible to run out of coffee mate. And again, or occasionally coffee filters. And both can be fairly devastating. Let's drink a little more coffee. How long have I talked today? I've talked for 34 minutes. How did that happen? I vowed to myself I was only going to go on for 5 or 10 minutes just so I didn't get those angry texters from viewers. And I don't know if they're angry. They might be loving, but I always feel bad when I get them. Are you going to go live today? Hey, Ken, what's with the live? Did I miss it? It's nice that anyone cares so much. But either way, I was going to do a half-ass effort. I wasn't allowed to do a half-ass effort. An extension cord was brought out. A computer was brought out. I got tuned in to YouTube. I have to have creamer in my coffee. It's must-have, says Jenny. Well, I believe that. I understand that, and that's the way I felt. But I realized when I had to have creamer in my coffee, when I actually said that, I realized it was a problem. And I had to break away, because I couldn't deal with that crushing feeling on those mornings when you're so excited and you've even brewed up the coffee. And again, you open up the fridge and it's not there. It's not there. And I know the feeling. We all know the feeling of shaking the bottle and going, might be 2 or 3 cups in there. I wonder if it'll be enough. And then you ration it and you pour like a half allotment and you go, this is pretty good. It could use a little more. It could use a little more cream. But I don't have it. Yeah, well, okay, Susan. See, and I appreciate you saying that, Susan. And Susan, once she gets involved in the conversation, she can be quite conversational. We're going to call her Chatty Susan. I hope she's not one of those introverts that doesn't want attention drawn to her. And now she's going to get everyone following her page. Everyone's follow Susan Pullins Ash. She's very friendly, and she's a coffee lover. Chippy, RJ, yes, that is true. And I don't know. That's not totally true. I drink my coffee black, but I drink it with cream at Starbucks. So I go both ways with my coffee. So I don't know what I have for you today. I'm excited about my day. I'm sitting outside, and it's a cool morning. I'm wondering right now, and I'm figuring my 2 little babies are probably up, running around the living room. And when I say running, one is Augie kind of walks like this and screams a lot when he runs. And Eve is probably the fastest little crawler. I bet you. I used to be a pretty fast runner. I think my daughter Eve is a heck of a fast crawler. I bet if I got a race set up, and with all the parents on one end, I don't know how long we'd make this crawling race. 10 feet, 10 yards, not more than 10 yards. and what surface it would be on. Probably a carpeted surface to give them all padded knees. We don't want them hurting, bruising their little 1-year-old knees. And we lined up all the 1-year-old babies, and we got all the parents on the end. I bet you my daughter Eve could win a crawling race. She's pretty fast. I think I actually have to, if she's gets on the other side of the baby gate and breaks free into the kitchen and starts crawling her little heart out, I almost have to break into a trot to catch her. Yeah, she might win. She's going to win state cross country in 16, 17 years. She might be one of those really good runners that's a 3-time champion or 4-time champion. Well, I don't know who this what's popping people, who this person is, but I kind of like him. He wants us to have the baby race on a concrete floor to toughen them up. All right. All right. But anyway, yeah, it's Sunday morning, and I'm feeling good. And I feel kind of relaxed, like I said, kind of in a haze, but kind of a happy haze. Usually I encourage you to have a happy or to feel good and love yourself and forgive yourself. But maybe today, GC is waiting for Colonel Lingus to chime in. That's interesting. I've never had that thought, GC Mafia. I have never been waiting for Colonel Lingus to chime in. I'm sure if he watches this on a replay, watches it over on YouTube or whatever, watches it on a replay, he's going to feel good that his name, that somebody cares enough about Colonel Lingus. Hello, April Melissa. In case you're wondering, I care enough about you. I appreciate you hopping on. Again, I go live every morning at 8 o'clock on TikTok and now on YouTube. And I have a lot of fun. I'm doing this full time. Enjoying, learning. I'll tell you what, there's a lot of learning that goes on. And I thought, over the last few weeks, I felt overwhelmed and I felt like, what the heck? But I've watched some videos, and there's a lot to learn about creating videos and creating content and getting your videos seen and turning your content into something that the audience wants to watch. And although I'm confident I have valuable content, there's so much behind the scenes stuff that we're just scratching the surface in terms of thumbnails and hashtags and descriptions and just so much to learn. And I don't know the half of it. And I'm fortunate to have my key grip that is really good at diving in and figuring out the behind the scenes stuff. And it's also as crazy as me. And I'll wake up, we go to bed early. I'll wake up at midnight. She's typing away on her computer, figuring ways to make a hashtag better, or to research a best way to do a thumbnail. So I'm fortunate in that. But one more sip of coffee, and I'm going to let you go. I appreciate you guys joining me. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday. I hope you've enjoyed your day or your weekend. I hope you're excited about your day. Hope you're living in the moment. Hope you got a great night's sleep. Hope you're loving yourself. I want to thank you one last time for joining. Please subscribe to my page. Again, I hope you're loving yourself. I hope you're forgiving yourself. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.